y'all. Look at this bull. Look at this bull crap. Can y'all see this? Now, sometimes, when my hair is thick and I wear it natural, it attracts lint. So, a lot of times, I don't know if it's lint or gray hair. But look at this, y'all. It's kind of higher up. But it was a time where if I saw a gray hair, I was able to just, this stuff is just glimmering. It's shiny. It's probably like a little patch. It's probably like a good 12, 15 hairs. Mm-mm-mm. I have a question. If some of y'all don't mind answering this. Now, I notice in my generation, and I'm talking about the people that was born in the, I don't know, middle, late 70s. A lot of people my age, I notice, have sprouting gray hairs. As a matter of fact, when I was younger, I was taking some braids out of this girl's hair. Now, mind you, she was 26. I was a little bit older than her. She was 26 years old, and she had a whole bunch of gray hairs. At that time, I don't think I had any, or if I did have some gray hairs, it was like in odd places, like a gray hair on my arm or something like that. Just in an odd place, and it's usually just one. Trying to get my words out. But anyways, I noticed that she had a head full of gray hair. Now, from a distance, you couldn't really tell. Couldn't really tell from a distance. But if you got up on her hair, you would be able to see it. I also remember an ex-boyfriend of mine. He was a little bit older than me. He was 32 at the time. This was in the past. I'm in my 30s now. But he was 32. And I don't think he really had gray hair up top, but he had like a little goatee. And I was talking to him, and I'm like, is those gray hairs? He just had like a little beard. Again, it was one of those situations from a distance you wouldn't be able to tell. Now, I can only imagine probably how his goatee looked now, if he even still sporting it. But yeah, he just had like little strands of gray hairs just sprouted all through his little goatee, and I'm just like, wow, so I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's something in the food. So I was doing pretty good as far as gray hair. My sister, she's older than me, no gray hair, so I'm like, we good. We ain't got to worry about no dang on gray hair. And then I noticed, I noticed the gray hair. This is probably like, I want to say 5 or 6 years ago, maybe about 5 years ago. And I was riding in a car with my friend. She was driving. And when you look in the car mirrors, especially, it's something about natural light. You could just see everything. Anyways, I thought I had a strand of lint in my head. So I, tried to get it, trying to fix myself up in the mirror. And it wouldn't go away. So I did it again, and then I'm like thinking to myself, like, okay, this is not what I think it is. So I pulled it, and sure enough, it was connected to my scalp. And I plucked that sucker out, and I prayed, and I rebuked it, and I did not have any issues with gray hair. Not really. I would say I went a couple of more years. I had not that I've noticed anyway. Then I noticed maybe about 2 years ago, I would get maybe like 2 hairs at the top. Again, plucked them out, prayed over it, rebuked it, and I didn't really have no problems with gray hair. This year, I don't know if I just hadn't been paying attention, or is it because, I'm, not putting as many perms in my head, because it look white for a minute before it kind of settles in. But I noticed when I put like moisturizers in my hair, it just seemed like my hair would attract like lint. So half of the time I'm like, I don't know what the heck is on my head. I don't know if it's a little bit of lint, if it's a little bit of gray hair, whatever the case may be. When do you stop plucking? When do you just accept it? Because I was always under the impression that you start getting gray, especially when I was younger. I thought you started getting gray hairs at 50. Or maybe if you were a premature gray-headed person, maybe in your mid to late 40s. That's what I was thinking. Like, is this normal? Is it normal for people in their 30s? Now, I know 20 is premature. I do know that. I do know that. Even though I know some people still come up with gray hairs. Now, I knew a lady, she had a head full of silver hair. And I believe she was like 37 years old or 38 at the time, I believe. But she rocked it. She didn't try to dye it out. I mean, and it looked kind of cool on her because you could still see that she was pretty young in her face. But I'm wondering, like I said, it's a nice handful of people that have gray hair. Should I just stop plucking at this point? I mean, once I have a patch, like 12, 15 just in one area, I'm like, you know what? It's bigger than me now, I'm not really at the point to where I want to dye it or start dyeing my hair. Actually, the only reason why I would want to dye my hair is because, like I said, when I wear my hair and I don't perm it, it seems like it attracts dust or something like that. And the top of my head, sometimes even when I look at my videos, I'm like, is that gray hair or is that dust? Or, so I don't like that. So I would probably dye the tips of my hair for that reason, but I don't feel like I have enough gray hair to really try to dye it all out. But I'm just wondering, is this our generation or has this happened? Like, for the people that's in their 50s and 60s or even maybe middle 40s, has this always been the case or is it just our generation? I'm in my life and I'm like, is this normal? Is it normal? Is this normal? Has this been happening like with y'all parents, with your parents? Did your parents go gray early? Did you go gray early or did it just happen overnight? But anyways, I don't want to make this drawn out. I just want to ask a simple question. It took me, about 9 minutes to ask it, but I just want to know, is it just our generation? I mean, what is the deal with these gray hairs? All right, peace out.